Hello, Rebel G-Mans, Division 3C. I'm your host, Rob Top, and I'm here with Matt, as always. Hello, Matt.
Hello.
Yeah, looking forward to the whole new season that's just started and getting our games played. And everyone's happy that's won in week one, which I didn't, but I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, it's been
Looking forward to it, mate.
I absolutely am. Yeah, we've got a couple of announcements as well. Bounty board is up, so a big shout out to Creatan, bounties.rebel.net. We're going to put a link in the bottom of this video for that. If you feel the need to take out some of your aggression on people that might have beaten you up, and also a really big shout out to HC Mac, otherwise known as Hugh the Lizard, who's put together some nice statistics on the amount of violence performed across the entirety of all three of the Division 3 leagues. To try to work out who's the most bashy.
Who is the most bashiest then?
Well, so 3A in the last week had 25 KOs, 37 injuries, and 6 deaths. B, who had 2 fewer matches, had 31 KOs, 18 injuries, and 1 kill. And here in the meat grinder that it is 3C, we had 40 KOs, 35 injuries, and 6 deaths. So a few less injuries than A, but a lot more KOs. So I think I agree with Hugh here that I think we take it just for the sheer amount of cranial head trauma that was put on. But as with all things, it looks like people were rebuilding after they'd taken that beating as well. The average TV last week in the pre-cap, we had it at 1,712. Now we're down to 1,693. So dropping down by about a normal skill for everyone on average.
Okay. So we're going to find out if people are dying rather than recruiting players by the looks of it, and if the average TV is going to be going up or down throughout the season, or do you think it's going to level out?
I think it's going to drop. I think it's going to drop each week, but that's just me. But if it's only 20 each week, we should be all right. But who knows? So yeah, I guess it's time we discuss our first match.
Just a quick thank you to everyone that's been sending in some messages telling us about when games are being played, the inducements they've taken and stuff like that. There was one guy who was typical Spanish who actually watched my game and ran through my game for me and told me everything that I was doing wrong, and just took the time out to, really sort of help me out and just send me a nice big list of everything that he would have done, which I didn't. And just thank you very much. It was really appreciated. And maybe you can do the same again next week when I lose that match as well.
Okay, that's very good. That's very good.
Okay, so let's go to the first game. It's Dazzle Wagster versus the Nordic Nublitz. Sorry. The Orcs took a bribe, and they started as I mean to carry on really. Taking a bribe, they were hitting every turn, fouling every turn. He was even re-rolling pushes with his piling on guy, which had some success as well. He was getting loads of KOs. He got a casualty on turn 3, taking the Ulf out, which was movement busted as well, which was a bit rough. If there's a one complaint I would say is that he was concentrating too much on taking the other team out rather than pushing up the pitch, which resulted in him actually losing the ball when he did try to push up. And the Edge 4 Norse guy did come in and do a 4+ dodge and a 4+ pickup and got away, but only just for one turn until he got powered again. So the half ended 0-0. If you'd like to start playing the clip, because the second half was quite interesting. So it's the Norse drive, and they look like they're in a reasonably good position doing this sideline.
They're looking pretty solid.
Yeah, they even though they were down on numbers, it was 11 versus 9 at the start of the half. But the Goblin saves the day. He comes around, provides an assist. He had done well clearing the path so he could get this blitz in.
Yeah, Fend causes the trip though. That's even in death, the Fend was useful.
And even though the Goblin was left by himself, he manages to stay on his feet and run the ball up. And I can't remember if he hands off to get the touchdown or if he got it himself. I think he got it himself.
I think he got it himself. I had to quick look at this as well.
And yeah, all in all, good win for the Orcs. Tough game for the Norse, especially with all the frenzy. There's so many frenzy traps with the guard everywhere on the Orc side. It was just tough, and especially the way the Orcs were playing by trying to take the team out. A big thank you too for naming some players after the ReBBL admins and the recappers. Myself, I'm the troll that was stupid 50% of the time. So I'm not sure if that's 50% of the time when I'm actually talking, or the 50% when you're talking, Matt. We'll have to work that one out.
We will.
But it's if he already knows you already, because you're a Black Hawk, mate.
I'm an unskilled Black Hawk, which is about Black Orcs. I played Orcs. I've played a couple of seasons of Orcs. I do like them as positionals. Once you get block on them, they're very good. So yeah, that's good. Love it. Thank you very much.
By the end of the season, you're going to have some skills, are you, mate? Is that the plan?
I've never had skills in my life, and you know it.
So yeah, overall, quite a decent game. Nice win for the Orcs. Especially when they scored on the Norse drive. Might be a bit of a tough season for the Norse for the Norse this season, but we'll see how they get on. It's a shame that they've lost their Agi4 guy. But if you'd like to go on to onto the Orc team, no one got any level up.
Oh, for the Norse team, do you mean?
Neither of them got level ups, so the teams stay as they are skill wise. And if we go over to the Norse team, they've lost a couple of players. They've lost Barbecue Penguin. He's missing next game.
Yeah.
The Ulf is minus movement, so he's out for the next game. And we've got a minus AV. Is he there?
He's not there. No. So I think the minus AV has been replaced there. There's certainly a big gap in the roster for that.
So he started off at 1780, and his TV is what now?
1490.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit of buying to do, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, overall, good game. Enjoyed watching it.
Okay, very good. Okay, so next up we have the Tiger Lizards versus the Flylord Servants, and Lizard versus Nurgle action. The Tiger Lizards were coming in with 1450 TV versus 2130 for the Nurgle, and the inducements there were taking in Sleebly, a Wizard, and a Pocket 3, a Babe, and I think an extra reroll. And yeah, this was a good match. The Lizards took lead with their initial drive, going 1-0 up midway through the first half. The skink running through, as you can see. Following up from that, the Nurgle do what Nurgle do and did some bash, and eventually were able to push through with a handoff to to this Rotter at the very end of the first half. He could then slowly push his way into the end zones to equalise just at half time. Moving into the second half, it was 8 Lizards versus a full Nurgle team, and as you can see, this fireball here knocking down everyone apart from the ball carrier, who was eventually blitzed. But some bad ball bounces for the Lizards, and an unfortunate failed pickup on a skink just meant that the numbers match was a little bit too much. A spirited defence from the Lizards, but they were getting KOs while the Nurgle were getting injuries, and as you can see, in the end, recovering the ball, an additional handoff to the Pestigore for the victory here. And as you can see, it was a good, enjoyable match. Relatively subdued compared to some of the later ones that happened, but very, very interesting to watch. Looking at the teams, starting with the Lizards. Yes, we had one MVP, so number 8 leveled up. Otel Gorlashi, who took up Sprint, it would seem. Going for that additional bit of speed to watch out for moving forwards, and the Flylord Servants, get that first win. From their perspective, from a casualty, Gacho Fragile leveled up, got some guard to supplement. Interesting. Gone for guard. Obviously keeping him up rather than going for piling on. And also number 6, Ulgagors, got Mighty Blow to go with the tackle and the block. So Yeah, strong
Such a
choices.
strong team, and such a strong team. No surprise that they won it.
Yeah, well, it was a spirited defence. Actually, there was, if it wasn't for that Skink failing a pickup, it could have maybe had a slightly different scoreline. Who knows? But yeah, moving on to the next match, it is one you saw, which is the Mining Machine Return versus the Clawtamore Rams.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. This is Clawtamore Rams are managed by HUD, which is the Division 1 guy that I was hoping to follow. And the TV difference between the Chorf and the Chaos was enough for Clawtamore Rams to get a wizard. And the whole match was played in a blizzard as well, so that would really affect the ball centaurs, because now it's restricting their movement quite a lot. Good game, really liked it. The Clawtamore Rams with no warriors is just interesting, and he basically receives the ball, gets the ball with his agility 4 guy, and just moves down, scores quite early. He scores on turn 4, which I was a bit surprised at, but the pressure was on, and I've got a feeling that he's sort of thinking, I'm going to take the touchdowns when I can get them. And the Chorfs, they got a bit of claw and stuff. They're mighty machine, aren't they? Especially a 1750 Chorf side. Bit scary for HUD, but they do end up equalising before half time, which is not what the Chaos wanted at all. So going into the second half, the Chorf drive, you'd just expect them to try to hold on to the ball and score right at the end, but they have a wizard. And if you'd like to start the clip, because I would say that when you've got a wizard and you want to use that bolt, he obviously knows how to use it, and the idea is
there he goes.
Yes, try to secure that ball when he was a bit open on that left hand side there. I just love the play here, really do. I just love the way that he frees up all his blokes. The timing of the wizard was absolutely perfect. I was wondering if he was going to blast the centaur and then blitz the ball carrier, but the way I just so love the way he does this. I've got a feeling I'm going to be a better coach at the end of the season by following this guy's games, and just learning. It's just classic play, really is. So as you can see, he just keeps freeing up the guys. He hasn't tried to pick the ball up yet. He's just getting his men in position, and just the way he deals with getting this ball and getting it into position is class act. I was thinking, where's the ball carrier going to go? Just easy. Just throw it to someone that's safe.
Oh yeah, caged there because you've thrown backwards. Nice.
It's lovely play, isn't it? It really
yeah.
is. But the game, they keep nicking the ball off each other, and in the end, it was just too hard to get the ball off the Chorfs. There was one point where the ball carrier obviously had the ball, and the Chaos had 8 dice and trying to get the ball off him. It was it was pushing him around all over the place. Couldn't do it. And then right at the end, the agility 4 Hobgoblin has the chance to score. All he needs to do is do a 3+ dodge, a 3+ and then a 2+ dodge, and he fails the 3+ even with the reroll. So it ends 1-1, and a good result for the Rams, really was. The Chorfs played really well. Just 2 good coaches. I really liked it. If you'd like to go on to the Chorf team, Martin Slicetongue, he got a level up, and I haven't looked to see what he's taken yet.
Jump up, looks like it was a double. Oh, jump up on your piling on claw mighty blow. That's what you want.
Dream.
That's the build. That's the build.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the
totally.
claw first as well. He's got the doubles right where he needs them as well. Brilliant.
When it comes to actually permanent injuries or just nothing, it was just a really unviolent game. If you have to look at the other team, the Rams,
We are going. Yep.
Yeah, just no level ups and no damage. It's just how it was. But as I say, I'm looking forward to watching his game next week. Just loved it. Good play, I just loved it. Everything about it. And I still think he's going to be in that top 3, even though he's down on TV and down on Warriors. I just got a feeling he's going to be up there because he's such a good coach.
Okay, sounds good. Well, next up is a match I watched. It was the New York Pilanders versus Shock and Gore. And this was 1720 TV for the Orcs versus 1840 for the Undead. Putting in a little bit of their own money to hire a wizard on the Orc side of things. And often a very good choice. We start off with an undead drive, kind of defensive, waiting for an opening, and centralised blocking from the Orcs there. Some, a little bit of damage being done as we're going on, quite a nice little chain push here, which I really liked. As we can see, the blitz coming through, Fens coming in. As you can see, it would have been a dodge to get base to base with the ball carrier there, but because of the chain push, now you can just stand him up. I thought that was really nice. And then following that up with a lightning bolt, just early on there, just ends as the first half 0-0. Orcs then have a drive. It's kind of a slow push, just moving forward like a central ruck. Before we kind of break through on the flank, and as you can see, just moving through and able to push through your classic Orc. Scoring at the end of the half there. It was a good match. And taking a look at the teams in terms of levels ups, we were only seeing a level up from the Pilanders. We got an injury, unfortunately, on Matthew Bazal, but let's take a quick look at that. It is just an MNG. And then we've had a level up on number 11. It's a strength up, double 6 on a lineman. It's what you want to see. There's going to be some interesting builds moving forward on that. And then looking at the undead for Shock and Gore, we didn't get any levels up here, unfortunately. We did, however, have an MMG on the block Zombie Todd. Which, it's not great, but you're not going to be hurt. Block dirty player, which, it isn't great, but they are a zombie, it's going to happen.
He messaged me to say that his team basically got wiped out season, and he was completely rebuilding his team.
Oh, yes, this is gruff, yes.
Yeah, the only ones that survived were the ghouls, amazingly, and all these positionals, like the wights and the mummies, were just getting destroyed. So he had a rough time.
Very close to re-rolling, I believe, but stuck with it and has managed to come back up through. So that's good.
Now I might be getting my coaches mixed up. It might have been this guy that told me how to play my Amazons. I'm getting confused between the coaches, so sorry guys if I got the wrong one. But whoever it was, thank you anyway.
Thank you to everyone. If anyone wants to send Rob messages and telling him to protect his Paragon players when we're on the floor so they don't get fouled off the pitch, that would be great. Next up was also a match that I took a look at, which was the Bob Brotherhood versus Bloodhorse. So this was Nurgle versus Chorfs, and this is where we really start to have things going a little bit to the violent side of things. It was.
We haven't had any deaths yet, have we?
Hold that thought. So this was 70-70 for the Bob of a Hood versus 70-30 from Bloodhorse. So the Chorfs coming in with a slight TV disadvantage. But they spent a little bit of their own money and brought a babe in, and also had the Fae moving forward, which is always useful. Starting off. There was they took out a zombie on the very first turn, I believe, as we're about to see, and this was kind of a rotter, and this was knocking Carl very early on, starts taking on. They managed to basically do a Chorf drive forward very slowly. The Nurgle were able to get a little bit of revenge, taking out a blocker with a foul at the very end of the first half. Moving forward, we've got 10 on the Bobs versus 9 on the Chorfs. But yeah, just those Chaos Dwarfs are just able to push, as you can see, just really pressuring the ball carrier here. And just strangling. Careful Bob going down to the Bull Centaur. Decay really not helping. And at this point during the second half, they just started strangling the life out of the team, just taking people out, and eventually just pulling through and scoring 2-0 right at the end of the second half. Yeah, it was violent. Yeah, so the Bob Brotherhood unfortunately got a bit of a kicking. 3 dead, 1 minus AV, and 1 missing next game. It's not very good. Sparks, has been replaced with a identical twin with no SPP. And in terms of level ups, number 12, a good son, Hobgoblin, going with kickoff return, it looks like. So just getting that little bit of extra movement, allowing you to have like a bit more of a central, just one Hobgoblin in the backfield. Bob Brotherhood, yeah, as you can see, they're looking a little bit worse for wear, losing a lot of players, and they've got some money in the bank, so they're going to be able to start rebuilding, and we'll see when we come into next week's matches how they did so. But certainly if it's for Bloodhorse, I imagine they're going to see a lot more violence on the horizon. Anyway,
one to watch out for, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Bloodhorse rough.
Yeah, next up is typical Spanish versus Granny's Chosen, which I believe was a match that you watched, my friend.
Yeah, Dark Elf versus Kenway.
Yeah, Span versus Gran.
Yeah, it was a typical Dark Elf game, and it was a typical Kenway game as well. The Dark Elves took a Wizard and Babes to try to level things up, and the kickers needed a little bit of practice because the first kick went into touch, and the Dark Elves basically wasted no time scoring on turn 5. I didn't. Sorry, not the Dark Elves. The Kenway wasted no time scoring on turn 5, which I thought they scored a bit too quick, really. But you know what Dark Elves are like? They can just all of a sudden be on top of you and getting the ball off you. So maybe you thought it's better to score now than not at all. So when the Dark Elves, when the Kenway kicked to the Dark Elves, it was another touchback, and the Dark Elves wasted no time in getting the equaliser. When it come to right at the end of the first half, worrying times for Kenway. The kick was really deep, and he didn't have that many men back, and he managed to just get the ball in time and just lob it as far away as he could before the Dark Elves were on top of him and scoring again. So he sort of saved the half. When it came into the second half, it was 11 Kenway versus 7 Dark Elves. So the attrition was taking effect. There was some rough dice for the Dark Elves. They had some snakes on one of their first turns, which was a big ouch, just losing a complete turn. The Dark Elves did lose the ball on a 3+ dodge, but luckily the witch caught it. Sorry, what did they? They might have tried throwing it, but the turn continued without a turnover. But it got down to 11 versus 5, and it just looked like the Kenway were just going to just manage to win the game. And the end just was so good. If you'd like to bring the clip up,
sure.
It was just who's going to win? Were the Kenway going to do it with all their players?
16 turn, yeah.
Yeah, they the Dark Elves managed to get the ball back, as you can see, hand off, witch waiting upfield. So, need a reroll for the pass, and it's still inaccurate, but boom!
Oh no!
And the witch couldn't catch it. Otherwise, it'd have been 2-1. So yeah, to watch that at the end was just like proper elf play. Loved it. So close. That could have been 2-1 to either side. The dice sort of judged the match at the end, I would say. But if we go on to the teams, typical Spanish. So they didn't get any level ups. And when it actually comes to missing players, they got a missing next game lineman, two missing next game linemen, and a blitzer is missing next game. So a little bit of an ouch there, but otherwise unscathed. So nothing permanent. He's got 30k in the bank, so I don't know if he's actually bought someone else. I'm not sure. If we go over to the Kenwood side, now they did get some level up.
Okay.
So the Tomb Guardian, my writing's atrocious. Is that Blave Orchid Dean? Orchid Dean?
A Blau Orchideen, yes, blue orchid in German, yes.
Oh yeah, it's all the German. That's why
it's not as bad handwriting as it's in German.
So yeah, he got a level up. What did he get? Is that Mighty Blow?
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, no, that is Mighty Blow, absolutely.
And Gromny Ra 2, he got a level up as well.
Gromny Ra 2 got a level up. I'm just taking a look for
is that
Gromny
leader?
Ra 2. Oh yes, that's the throw Ra. Take him dodge.
And well-meaning the skeleton, he got
block.
a level up as well.
Yeah, block for the skeleton. It's useful enough. I mean, I've been tempted by wrestle, but it is what it is, But moving forward into the last match, and certainly this was a good one to watch. This would probably be my pick of exciting matches to watch. A hard-hitting, high-scoring match from Rebel Supremacy versus Defense of the Anagrams. We're in a situation whereby it was 1840 TV for the Elves versus 1630 for the Bretonnians, who came in with a Babes and a Wizard. Wizards, in my opinion, probably the best inducement, just because it gives you that extra thing that you can't really get any other way. Going through, there's a lot of quick cuts in this one to try and keep it down, but starting off with a drive from the Elves, and just from the off, you'd think this was going to be nice, refined with High Elves and Bretonnians, but no, Dull Jewel's dead immediately. Fireball down. Pretty effective fireball, but wasn't quite enough, as the Elves were just able to recover and just dodge through, doing that, that elven goodness that we've all looked to get to go 1-0 up. A measure of revenge with a foul here. Straight up killing steel. And Bretonnians being able to push through and equalise. Elves, I think, just start the half through doing elf things again, going up again for the equaliser. Another death moving forward with Lickstabber as we move into the 2-all, and a long pass to the 5 agility blitzer with catch. So that's, even in 2 tackle zones, that's still 75% for the catch, and it's enough just at the end to pull the Bretonnians through. I definitely recommend people take a look at this. It was very exciting. And
they look like a good team, Bretonnians.
Yeah, it's strong. Like, even this is 3C, baby. Even the hybrid and agility teams just kick the crap out of each other. We'll start with Dota here. In terms of levels ups, they got number 8 from a casualty on a blocker, so that's guard. It's always useful. In terms of the deaths that the Bretonnians suffered, it was 2 dead linemen, although one was a loner and the other was slightly more advanced and had wrestle, which it's a bit annoying, but it could be a lot worse. Moving on to take a look at the High Elves, that they got a level up on number 5, Lightning, from both a pass and causing a casualty with this catcher. It's always good to kind of diversify what you're getting your SPP from, and getting the agility. So that's an agility 5, a second agility 5 catcher, the third agility 5 player for the team. That's dangerous. Number 11, who was the blodge kick lineman, unfortunately died during the match, which it's always annoying when you lose your kick, because you can't really have a second backup. So I imagine Titan, who's only 1 SP PPOA, is probably going to get prepped for that. And yeah, missing next game for the other Blodge lineman, Electro. So yeah, three deaths in that match, and yeah, so the last two were pretty brutal. And I think we can now move on. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this. We can now move on to taking a quick look at week 2. Now we're going to do a little bit of a prediction competition. I've got a Google spreadsheet. I've got a spreadsheet set up that I'm going to be updating with our predictions, and I'm going to put a link either in Discord or in the bottom of the video. So if you want to come in and make your own predictions as well, maybe we'll have a nice little, maybe put together a small prize or something. But between myself and Rob, the way we're going to score this is it's going to be 1 point for the correct result, so the correct winning side or calling that it was a draw, and 3 points if the exact score line is nailed. And at the end of the season, whoever's got the least points out of myself and Rob will do a forfeit, which we will probably cast out to see what we'll be having to do. Having to do a forfeit on the recap. So
I think we're going to regret this. One of us, I really do.
One of us is definitely going to regret it. But yeah, first up we've got Granny's Chosen versus the Dazzle Wagsters. So yeah, the Camry versus the Orcs.
Because Dazzle Wogs have named us in their team, I'm going to back them in this, and I'm going to put a 2-1 grind.
Sure. To the Wagsters. Okay. I think I think this is going to be. I'm going to go for a 1-1. I'm going to go for a draw here. I think. Yeah, I'm going to go with my gut and go for a draw here. Like the Khemri are going to be able to muscle the Orcs around, but I think that my gut's just telling me that's going to be a draw. Next up, we've got the Bretonnians versus Bloodhorse, the Chaos Dwarfs.
I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay, very good. We should alternate. I'm going to go with Bloodhorse here. I'm going to go for a 2-1. They just really impressed me with the brutality in the match. I've seen this one, and as much as I'm impressed with the Bretonnians, I just think it's going to be tricky with all of that tackle around.
So, what score did you do?
2-1 to the Chaos Dwarfs.
Okay, I'm going to go 2-all.
Very good. Next up, Rebel Supremacy versus Shock and Gore. So it's High Elves versus the Undead.
Elves.
2-0.
2-0.
I'm gonna agree with you. Sorry to Shock and Gore. Just the Supremacy. They've just got the Elven tools. I'm gonna give them a 2-1. Typical Spanish versus the Rams. So it's the Spans versus the Rams next week.
Your shout.
I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give this 2-1 to the Rams. I think they were hurting this week, and I think they're going to be chomping at the bit, as it were, to get a bit of revenge next week.
Typical Spanish. They are that dark elf side. Quite even TV between these two. Yeah, I'm going to give it to my hero, Clotable Rams, Hero Hard. I'm going to go 1-0.
Sure. Next up, it's the Bod Brotherhood versus the Flylord Servants. It's a Nurgle derby. I'm going to give this one to the Flylord Servants. I'm gonna go 3-0 actually.
3-0.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be able to. I think they're just going to be able to strangle them.
On a Nurgle bash off 3-0. That's unheard of. Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0.
Okay.
But Nurgle don't score a lot, you know that.
Oh, there were some handoffs last match. I think they've got. I think they're a bit sneaky. Next up, the New York Pylanders versus the Nordic Nooblets. So Orcs versus Norse.
The Norse are going to struggle. I think I'm going to give it to the Orcs. 2-1.
Okay. I think I'm going to go 1-1 for that one. I think I think Nuffle's going to lay a hand in, and it's going to be a similar situation to one of the matches you saw this time when it just fails at the last minute. I just have that. It's my heart more than my head, as you can see. And finally, we've got the Mining Machine return versus the Tiger Lizards. So Chorf versus Lizards.
You shot first. Go on.
I'm going to go 2-1 for the Chorfs. I just think the tackle is just going to help a lot against the Skinks, and they're just going to be able to grind it out to a standard 2-1.
I'm going to go 3-1 to the Chorfs.
Okay, very good. And yeah, if you have different opinions, feel free to jump into the Google Sheet and just replace the coach name with your own name and make your predictions there. But I think that's everything we want to say for that week. This week? Is that right?
Yeah. We're trying to do them quite quickly, so people don't get bored, and maybe everyone will watch the entire thing.
Yeah,
so,
I'm going to go back and edit out all the dead air as well. So hopefully,
okay.
If you see jumps, that's why that was. So yeah,
that's all for me. That's all, folks.
And we will see you on the pitch.